What's up, everybody? Welcome back to This or Therapy. I am your host, Chris Mack, and today's topic we want to talk about what is the bare minimum. Now, we see a lot on dating podcasts, dating TikToks, dating Instagram videos, all this stuff about dating, and there's a lot of people who are saying that certain things are the bare minimum. But what is the bare minimum in a relationship? Because personally, I think that the bare minimum is different for individuals, right? Because some people think that, texting every day, some form of communication every day is the bare minimum. Some people think that, the bare minimum is seeing each other every day. And I'm just curious on what the bare minimum is to people, because when it comes to relationships in the world that we live in today in 2023, the bare minimum is sometimes difficult because we all have our lives that we're trying to live. We're all trying to work. We're all trying to make money. We're all trying to have a decent life, a livable life, not struggle and things of that nature. And, gas is high. Groceries are high. Just everyday living is even higher. And it takes a lot of energy to live in the world that we live in today, with social media, with paying bills, with, maintaining cars and things of that nature. So what is the bare minimum? It's kind of a hard question to ask, right? Because you have to ask the individual. And sometimes some people's bare minimums are a little bit, let's say, exaggerated or unreasonable, if I could put that out there, right? Like for some people, the bare minimum, like I said, is seeing them every day. You have to see them every day. Not living together, seeing every day, but like we live in two different apartments. Maybe, you live in a certain part of town, I live in a certain part of town, and we have to see each other every day to meet the bare minimum. And I think that is, right? That's kind of ridiculous, right? But some people's bare minimum is text me good morning and text me good evening every night. Not that bad. And there's always the same saying, especially from women, no offense, but there's always saying that, like, if he wanted to, he would. That's a little bit presumptuous, because if I want to, we all want to do certain things. Like, I want to be a millionaire, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be a millionaire in my life, no matter how hard I work. Some circumstances may take that opportunity away from me, and that's why it's called the 1%, because not everybody can be in that 1%. You see what I'm saying? Not saying that it's impossible, just saying you got to be reasonable. So what is the bare minimum, right? What do you need every day to satisfy what you're doing? And also too, when someone is doing the bare minimum, should they still get praise? I think so, because in the world that we live in today, especially with all the options that people have with dating apps, Instagram, Snapchat, things of that nature, that with the world filled with distractions and people who, let's say, have delusions of grandeur in the sense of what they think they can get or who they think they can get, I think we should be being praised for the bare minimum, because there are people out there who won't even give you the bare minimum in general. You have to scrape and grasp for things that are the bare minimum, like, someone speaking to you every day, or someone doing nice things for you, once a week. So I think the biggest thing that we have to do is, when we get together, is one, decide what our bare minimums are, and then two, communicate those things. I think that should be first date talk. Is what are your bare minimums when it comes to being in a relationship? What do you expect when you are in a relationship? Because, if we're dating, that's the whole point, right? You're trying to get to know someone to start seeing them more, possibly, and further the relationship to, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, wife, that nature, So I think that should be the first date. You ask them, what is your bare minimum? What do you need from me every day to make you feel like you are seen, you are loved, and you are appreciated? And I think you should get those things, have at least 5 things that you have that are bare minimum. And if the person is meeting those requirements, make sure that they know that you appreciate them for meeting those requirements, because, it does take effort to do those things, period. You know what I mean? Yes, you might expect that these are things that should happen, but just because you expect it doesn't mean that you shouldn't appreciate it, right? Like, we expect to wake up every day and take in breath, but there may be days where we don't. And when that is gone, we'd appreciate it a lot more, right? There might be days where we expect to wake up every day to a house that we live in, but that may not be the case, man. Things happen. So I think we need to establish right at the beginning what are basic needs that you need to have met. And then we also need to decide that if you're dating somebody, is that person meeting those basic needs? And then go from there. Because if they're not doing that, now here's the thing too, we also can't be expecting them to meet every single one all the time. We are only humans. We're going to falter. We're going to miss some steps from time to time. And just because a person misses a step doesn't mean that you should break up or that this person's not good enough and you should hop to the next person. Because again, when the world we live in with options, people think, oh, well, this person's not perfect. I have 5 requirements and he's only meeting 4 of them, so I got to move on. We shouldn't move like that. We should move like this in the sense of, hey, this requirement is one of my most important ones. You missed it. Can we make sure that this doesn't happen again? I guarantee any sensible mind person would be willing to have that talk. Anyway, so that's it for today's episode. Let me know in the comments what you think are decent bare minimums or what your bare minimums are. And if you've met a person or are currently with a person that meets those. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.